What's up, guys? We are back today with episode 2 of our Washington Nationals MLB The Show franchise. Like I said in the first episode, this is going to be our franchise for MLB The Show 25. We're going to be doing other rebuilds, but this one is going to be our main franchise. We will focus on, do all the scouting, and do everything ourselves. So, as you saw in the last episode, we started off 1-0. We beat the Philadelphia Phillies, had a very, very strong game. We had 4 hits, 2 home runs. So it was Jacob Young and then Josh Bell that hit home runs to give us the lead. Josh Bell gave us the lead on that one. Mackenzie Gore went 7 innings, 8 hits, but only 1 earned run, 8 strikeouts. So his ERA is real low to start the year. And then our bullpen came in and gave us 2 very, very strong innings. Keegan Aiken got his first hold of the season going 1 inning. Did give up 2 hits, but got out of it, got around the trouble. Jorge Lopez got his first save, only gave up 1 hit and did strike out 2. So a very, very strong season opener for us. We're going to look to improve today and hopefully score some more runs, get some more hits for those guys that don't have any hits yet. We're not playing every game. Obviously, playing 162 games would be crazy. So I have the moments set up, so it'll ask us to play every couple of games, do certain moments, keep hitting streaks alive. If there's a no-hitter going into like the 6th, it'll ask us to come in and try and keep it, stuff like that. So it's a little bit of a way to kind of speed up the process of going through a whole MLB season, and then we'll be dealing with scouting, obviously. We'll be dealing with our trade block and then the draft and all of that. So we're going to go ahead and get started in here. We can go into the calendar, and we'll just set it to sim through this first month. And right away, we have Jose Alvarado on the mound, and we have a runner on second base here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Let's go ahead and see if we can get Stone Garrett an RBI in this game and see what we can do here. Yeah, it is the bottom of the 9th, so we can walk it off here with 2 outs if Stone Garrett can get a base hit. Should be able to get James Wood in here with a base hit. Fouls that one down the right. Out of play. See what we can do against Jose Alvarado, a very good closer here in MLB The Show. And we ground that one to second base. That will be the final out of the bottom of the 9th. We're going to go ahead and go back to simming this game and just see if we can win. Oh, they have us in another opportunity here with runners on first and third with 1 out. Let's go ahead and enter the game here, see if we can get Jorge Lopez out of this situation. We'll be pitching these full at-bats because there is no quick counts when you head into the game, so that's also something we got to keep in mind here as we go down 2-0. Fight back 2-1 with a nice fastball there from Jorge Lopez. Looking to throw the slider outside, we do. Fouls it back 2-2. We're going to go up and in with a fastball here, see if he bites at it. He does not, so full count here. We're going to throw a curve, see if we can get him to bite. Not the worst thing ever to have the bases loaded here, having a force out at every single base, so I'm not afraid of walking here, and that's exactly what we do to Edmund Sosa, which brings up Weston Wilson. Having a very strong start to his season, batting .667, 2 for 3 in today's game. And he gets into one there, see if James Wood can make a nice throw in to hold that runner. They will send the runner, throw is to the plate, it is not in time. Phillies take the lead 2-1. Nice curveball there for the first strike of the count to Trey Turner. Throw a slider in there, try and get him to bite. We do. Not the placement on that slider I would have liked, but it's okay. We'll throw a curveball. He swings at it and misses. Throw down to first. That is the final out of the top of the 10th, and we'll head up to bat here. Did have a home run in the first game, only batting .167, 0 for 3 in today's game. I believe he was 1 for 4 in the season opener. So we'll see what we can do against Matt Strahm here as we foul that high 4-seamer back to the net. Again, we are playing full at-bats as well as full pitching without quick counts on, so got to be a little bit more calm, a little bit more reserved here with our at bats. Not go at anything too early in the count. That would have been a good pitch to swing at here. 1-2, just trying to move the runner over for whoever is up next. I think it's Ahmed Rosario that's up next. Swing a drive to left center field there for Jacob Young. That one's deep, and that is off the wall. That'll get down. We will not be able to score. Throw is away. And we will hold James Wood at third base. I believe that's James Wood. No, it's Stone Garrett. Okay, we'll hold Stone Garrett there. We have Jacob Young on second for Ahmed Rosario. So I'm going to try and bunt here. See what we can do to get something on the ground. We do bunt down the third baseline. Does it stay fair? It will not. Nice bunt. That would have been the spot to put it, but could not stay foul there. So we'll see what Ahmed Rosario can do here. 0-1 now. Gives us something to hit. That's a little flare into center field. That will be caught. We are going to run here with Stone Garrett. Throws to the plate. Not in time. We tie the game with 1 out. Ahmed Rosario. I believe they'll score that a sac fly there. Keibert Ruiz up the bat. We're going to bunt here. See if we can get Jacob Young in with that 95, I believe, speed. 97 speed. Miss on that first pitch badly there from Keibert. Bunts it foul, so that takes the bunt out of the equation now for us with an 0-2 count. If we had someone that was a little bit better at bunting, I might consider it 0-2, but definitely not Keibert Ruiz, who's 0 for 3 in the game and has not gotten a base hit this season. So looking for his first base hit. I don't believe he's even gotten on base yet this season because he did not walk in the first game. So we'll see what we can do here. Evens up the count 2-2 with a high fastball outside. Matt Strom pitching very well. Did give up the run to tie the game, but honestly, that's okay. And that is a pop fly into right field. Stone Garrett, Jacob Young will tag and score, and we walk it off. Keibert Ruiz. Never thought I'd say that Keibert Ruiz walks the game off, but there we go. The 66 overall catcher hits a sac fly into right field, and we take home the W here in Game 2 of this MLB season. Didn't think we'd get a moment this early on in the season, honestly, but hey, we'll take it. We're 2-0, and that is a very strong start there as Jorge Lopez gets the win. It pitches 2 innings. Our closer going 2 innings with Mitchell Parker going 7.1, giving up 1 run, striking out 6. So 2 back-to-back 7-inning performances from our starting pitchers, and our starting rotation is looking really strong so far this year. We're going to go ahead and get back to the calendar and go ahead and sim through that date, see what we get. Keegan Aiken has a lat muscle strain. He'll be out for a couple of days. We're going to keep him active. No reason to send him there, and we'll auto-utilize him. We did just get swept. I couldn't see exactly who that was. And they want us to go in against the Diamondbacks here. Derek Law in the top of the 8th. With runners on first and second with Corbin Carroll up to bat. We'll go ahead and head in here and see what we can do against the Arizona Diamondbacks. All right, into this game now against Corbin Carroll. See what we can do here with Derek Law on the mound. Nice first pitch, that sinker. Very, very good sinker there to Corbin Carroll. Cutter, got him to swing through it. Now we can throw the slider. We're going to try and hit that on the outside corner. We do get him looking. Just completely froze Corbin Carroll there. Was not expecting the slider to come back over the plate. That's why it's always such a good pitch to throw in that situation. And we keep it 0-0 here in the top of the 8th. And we will see if we can hold this game and get Jorge Lopez the save. I believe it would be his 3rd of the year. So we'll see what we can do here against Eugenio Suarez. Nice pitch there on the curveball. Holds in the zone for strike 2. And we strike him out on 3 pitches. Randall Grichuk up the bat now, not having a good start to the year at all. Batting 179, slider stays in the zone for strike 1 there. Throw the circle change here. He gets on it, but foul down the left field line, out of play into the stands. We'll go for a curveball here, see if we can get him to swing. We do. Ground ball, throw the easy way to second, C.J. Abrams, and we win the game. Actually did lose to Philly in one of those games as well. So we started out 2-1 against Philly, took that series, then get swept by Toronto. We take the first game against Arizona. It is a 3-game series. Then we have to play the Dodgers. So 3-4. We're going to go ahead and get back to simming here, see what we can get done. We're going to stop because we do want to do our scouting. So we can look at our depth chart here. It's rough. It looks rough. Third base and catcher, as well as our bullpen, is going to be a big focus here in this first season for scouting. So I want to go ahead and scout catchers as our main priority. And I think we'll do international here for catchers. And then we're going to scout relief pitchers. And I think we'll do West there. Our third priority, we're going to scout a prospect here, I think. Let's see what we can find out about some prospects. I want to look at third baseman here. We're more than likely will have a high pick, and Thomas Patterson looks pretty good. So it looks, although Carlos Ponce looks really good as well. We're going to go ahead and put him as our third for now. So we'll finalize that and have that set for the week. Obviously, if we need to, we can change that. We have 97 days till the draft, so we have some time to kind of maneuver around different prospects, take a look at some different guys. 4-4 in the bottom of the 6th. We're gonna go ahead and simulate this one. I have confidence that we could probably pull that win out. We actually do not, and it looks like we're probably gonna get swept here by the Dodgers. Bottom 7th. We'll head into this game. I don't want to get swept by the Dodgers. We're gonna head in here. Again, a 2.37 OBP is rough. We have scored the least amount of runs. We have the second least home runs. Only 7 stolen bases. Our bullpen and our starting pitching is bad. Let's see what we can do here with Luis Garcia batting, I think, 179, that said. Yeah. Yikes. Not good against Alex Vesia. We'll see what we can do here. Swing through an ugly slider there. Thought that was going to hang over the plate just a little bit more there, but way early on it. Down 1 here in the bottom of the 7th. We do have runners on 2nd and 3rd with 2 outs, so we'll see if we can drive in at least one of those, tie this game up here. Not really giving us much to hit. Sliders, all 3 of them way outside the zone. And 2-1 count here. We'll take that low fastball in the strike zone. Evens up the count 2-2 here. So have to be defensive here, not looking to strike out, looking here. See if we can put something in play. High fastball outside, 3-2 full count here. If we can walk the bases loaded for C.J. Abrams, that would be fantastic. Does not have a hit with runners in scoring position this season, so looking to change that hopefully as we ground that one to short. That'll be on to first. That'll be the final out of the 7th inning, and we'll head back into simulation here, see if we get the win. We do not. Dodgers sweep us. Shohei Ohtani hit a home run. Roki Sasaki went 6 innings, 6 strikeouts, and only gave up 2 runs, so Mitchell Parker gave up 3, did give up all the runs, but did go 6 innings. So not the best start to the season, but honestly, we're rebuilding anyway, so I'm not too worried about it. We're going to go ahead and skip a bases loaded one. I'm not even going to touch that because I know I'm going to blow that. We're going to keep him on the 60-day IL because he'll still be out for 1 to 2 months, so that's fine. Mason Thompson is still out 4 to 5 months. We're going to keep him on the 60-day, and we'll go back into our scouting. So 4-10. Before our win against Miami last night, we had lost 6 in a row. So pretty rough. Swept by the Dodgers. Lost the series to the Diamondbacks, and then swept, obviously, by Toronto. Did take our first season series against the Phillies in the first season of the year. But 4-10, we're going to set our scouting. Carlos Ponce has 40% scouting progress here. Does have a 42% motivation to sign with us already, which is awesome. I think I will probably, honestly, keep him scouted another week. He does look pretty good. Only 18 years old. The potential is 70 to 96, so not mad about that. As far as catching prospects, we can view those in here and kind of see where we're at. Not a lot of guys high in the rankings. Well, I say that. There's 3 of them above 50. But the potential, Carlos Minozo looks really good. Jose Castilla looks good too. Jose Castilla could be anywhere from a 47 to an 81 overall right now. I think we're going to go ahead and set him as our scouting for that for this week. And then I think we'll go ahead and we can look at the prospect list, but we'll keep the relief pitchers kind of where they are. Jackson Owens looks fantastic so far. So he might be a guy that we look to. Actually, we'll use this week to kind of get more on him, and then we can change it back if need be next week. So we'll see. And I'll kind of give a stat overview every month for all the players because I know it's a little hard during all of these games to kind of figure that out. We're not going to head in here and play that game. We do end up losing 4-3, it looks like. Yep. So a whole lot of losses. We're now 6-15, so we've lost 3 in a row. Rough start to the year, but we're not focused on now. We're focused on the future. So Jackson Owens looks like he is going to be a beast. 78 potential to 96 potential. So unless in this last little bit of scouting we have to do on him, he falls off in potential, he might be our pick in the first round or potentially the second round if we have a high enough pick. Carlos Ponce at third base looks really good as well. We have him scouted 75%. His potential is still up to potentially a 94. The overall is very low, but at 18 years old, we'd start him at single A. He, would get about 2 upgrade points to everything every season We keep him there until he's 19 or 20, and then move him to Double A and then quickly to Triple A. He could make his debut by 21, 22. I'm not too worried about that at all. We have, players that can fill in those roles for now until we get players that are ready to go. And then Jose Castilla, 65 to 95 potential. Like, wow, this guy could be really good at 19 years old. And I'm really more focused on those guys that are going to be long-term projects because this is a long-term rebuild. I think for this week, we're just going to go ahead and keep it where it is. We'll know everything about Carlos Ponce by next week. So we're just going to finalize it, let that go, and then kind of see where we go from there as far as our actual season. We're not going to head in there with CJ Abrams. We do lose that one 4-5. Most of the minor league stuff I'm not too worried about. I did go in and set the lineups before the season started, but honestly, like the injuries and stuff, I'm going to let the CPU focus on those. Bottom of the 8th here, runner on second with 2 outs. James Wood up to bat. We're going to go ahead and head into this one. We're having a really, really rough season. Up to a 286 OBP, which is nice. Now 29th in the MLB. But the pitching, you can see, is very, very rough. And obviously our offense is not performing. So we have some work to do here. Down 1, we're going to see what we can do. All right, we'll see what we can do here with James Wood. Is 2 for 4 in the game. Does have 2 singles and RBI. So down 9-8 here with the runner on second, bottom of the 8th inning. We're going to see if we can put something in play. That is foul, chopped down the first baseline. 182 average with runners in scoring position for James Wood this year, so not good at all. Nice take there, sinker just on the chalk. We do get the call. It is a ball 1-1 count now. Looking to put something in the outfield gap there. Nice sliders. Thought that would hang off the plate just a little bit more. But it is a good pitch for a 1-2 count here. Looking not to strike out to end the bottom of the 8th here. We'll swing at that one. Ground it to second base. Easy play there for the second baseman. On to first. A little high, but corralled by Pete Alonso. That is the end of the 8th inning. We do have an opportunity bottom of the 9th with a runner on first. Nobody out for CJ Abrams to come up to bat. Does have an RBI in today's game. Batting 188. Let's see what CJ Abrams can do here. First pitch mashing and fouled into our dugout. So we'll see if we can get something to hit here from Edwin Diaz. The flamethrower. Four-seamer at our feet, 97 miles an hour, 1-1 count here. Really needs CJ Abrams to kind of have a breakout season, be that guy we can rely on. Not corralled easily by Pete Alonso, but is tagged out. Runner moves to second, though that's the important part here in the bottom of the 9th inning. And Stone Garrett up to bat now. Does have 2 walks in the game today, so we'll see if we can get him his third. Swing through the two-seamer. That would have been a good pitch to hit. Good timing just underneath it there. We're going to not advance there on the base pass. I don't know who that is out there, actually. I didn't even look. It is Nathaniel Lowe, so 41 speed. He would have been gunned down easily there by the catcher. So 1-1 count here. We got something to hit. That is into right field. We are holding Nathaniel Lowe at third. No way he would make that play at the plate. Riley Adams up to bat now. So he's having a 3-13 start to his year with 1 home run, 5 hits. Not bad for our catcher, our backup catcher. Keibert Ruiz sitting in today's game, it looks like. So we will see what we can do here. Take the slider down and in. 1-0 count to start off this at-bat. A walk to load the bases would not be the worst thing ever. Would not be mad at that at all. Foul that one down the right field line, back and out of play. So 1-1 count here. That would have been a pitch to hit right down the middle at 96. Very late on that pitch, though. Let that slider go high and up out of the strike zone. 2-1 count here. See what we can do here with runners on first and third. Swing through that slider up and in. Nice pitch right on the edge of the strike zone there. And we've evened up the count at 2-2 here. See if we get something to hit on this next pitch from Edwin Diaz. We do swing through it for a seamer, just a little too high for us. And Nasim Nunez up the bat now, 0 for 3 in today's game. Cannot go down with another strikeout here. Got to put something in play and get that run in to tie the game here in the bottom of the 9th. Looking for something to hit and drive deep, and that is popped into shallow center field. That'll be caught by the center fielder, and that will be the game. So Mets beat us 9-8. We're not able to come back here in the bottom of the 9th inning, and we will head out after another loss this season. So we do know Carlos Ponce looks to be very, very good. The potential anywhere from 78 to a 93. And he could be a very good player for us. Some of the attributes are looking really good. The fielding, the arm strength, obviously, is looking really good. The speed looks really good as well for a catcher. Or no, he's a third baseman, but still. It's going to be all of the hitting, though, that is really, really rough. I'm not exactly sure what's going on with that, but he will probably not be the player we look to take. We'll go ahead and change him. We'll do another third baseman, just try and get a better idea. And we'll probably go... We'll go Ken Kelly. Here's another 19-year-old. Jackson Owens, 81 to 94 potential. So he could be the player here that we take at a 58, projected to 71 overall. Does look actually really good here. The walks per nine's a little low. The stamina's fine for a reliever. Actually, not bad for a reliever. The velocity is interesting. Can we see? Yeah, we can. Cutter, curveball, slurve, and a changeup. So we're going to go ahead and change him out as well, but keep him in mind. We'll look at some other relievers here. Okay, we'll take a look internationally at John Nomo, another 18-year-old potential pick for us. And then Jose Castilla still looks very good, 66 to 92 potential. At 19 years old is really good. We're going to keep him there and get him the 20-plus scouting percentage per week. So that's our scouting for that week. All right, so we finish our first full month of play at 9 and 22. We can head in here and kind of take a look. We'll skip those and just kind of take a look as far as our pitching is concerned. Actually, we can head in here to our pitching rotation and get a better look. So Mackenzie Gore and Jackson Rutledge are both cold. Jackson Rutledge has been shelled. Oh my goodness. 2 runs, 4 runs, 4 runs, 2 runs, 4 runs, 4 runs in his starts this season. Yikes. Not good from the 5-man rotation. You want to have that ERA be a little bit lower, obviously. Mike Soroka is getting shelled as well. Jake Irvin is shelled. Mitchell Parker's having a really, really strong start to his year. And then Mackenzie Gore, our ace, has a 5.21 ERA and a 1.66 whip in almost 40 innings. That's interesting. So Mitchell Parker is 0 for 2, but pitching really well, only giving up 3 home runs in 36 innings. So, you can't really be too mad about that. Playing really well. And then obviously the bullpen is looking rough as well. Colin Poche is 6.75. Lucas Sims is 6.11. Evan Reifert, 6.75. Jorge Lopez, though, pitching really well with a 2.08 ERA. I mean, I didn't really expect much more from our bullpen. Obviously, it's a very, very rough bullpen overall-wise, so I did not expect the most. Keegan Aiken was really our big addition in the trade, and he's pitching decent in 16.2 innings. I wouldn't call it good, but... Oh my goodness, in 0.1 innings last game against the Phillies, he gave up 3 earned runs and got 1 out. Okay. So an 81 ERA in that game for him, my goodness. Had pitched really strong other than that. So really that ERA is definitely inflated in those last 10 innings because of that. So should be a little bit lower once he kind of gets his groove back after that last outing. As you can see here, James Wood and Josh Bell are both cold. No one else is cold, which is good. But CJ Abrams is hitting 195. Dylan Cruz 163. James Wood 270, having a great year actually so far. 3 home runs and 9 RBIs in the first month. That's not bad. Nathaniel Lowe 284. Josh Bell has 4 home runs, batting 244. Luis Garcia is batting 230. Jacob Young, 281, so he's having a really good, strong start to his season. Ahmed Rosario, 235, and then Keibert Ruiz, 216. Riley Adams off the bench in 19 at-bats is batting 316. Nasim Nunez, 192 and 26 at-bats, does have a home run and 2 RBIs. He's going to be more of that speed guy, though, that guy we take off the bench in late game situations, late inning situations where we have a pinch runner. Robert Hassel batting 233 and 30 at-bats, another one of those really speedy, strong guys. Then Stone Garrett in almost 60 at-bats is batting 246. So, he might look for more playing time at the DH spot, honestly, because Josh Bell is hitting home runs, but that's about all he's doing. So I'm going to move the lineup around a little bit, and then we'll talk about it in a second. So against righties, I made some moves. James Wood is going to lead off. CJ Abrams will switch to batting second here. Nathaniel Lowe goes up from fourth to third, and then Josh Bell will go up from fifth to fourth, with Dylan Cruz dropping, I believe, from third to fifth. The bottom of the lineup, I'm going to keep the same. They're all hitting very well. Jacob Young, I'm actually going to be moving up to number 6. Luis Garcia will drop down to number 7. I think this is a good spot to be in. Jacob Young could easily be moved up to that 4 spot at some point, but I do like having Josh Bell there with just a bit. Well, I say just a bit, but a lot more power, double the power at both righties and lefties. So that's the changes I'm making as far as hitting. But yeah, we're going to head in and simulate some more games and just see if we can kind of get the team back on track here. Jose Castilla is honestly just getting better and better as we're scouting him more. We're going to keep him again. He'll get up to an 85% scouted, 68 to 90 potential. Honestly, anywhere in that like 80 to 90 potential range, I'm fine taking him. He's 19, so he's going to have room to develop. John Nomo, our international relief pitcher that we're scouting, is looking okay. And then Ken Kelly, who we have at third base, scouted 62% now, 78 to 95 potential. He looks like someone who could be very, very strong for us. We're going to keep it as is this week and let it roll. And we're going to go ahead and sim here to the end of the month and just kind of go week by week again. Again, the minor league injuries I'm not worried about. These games I'm not too worried about. We're going to lose a lot of games this season. I'm very aware of that. So I'm not going to make you guys watch me strike out 5 times every couple of games. We can head in here. Jose Castilla, so 70 to 88 potential, so falls off a little bit. We're going to go ahead and swap him out for another catcher. Just kind of get our facts straight with some of the other catchers. Carlos Manozo, we'll go ahead and scout him. And then Ken Kelly is scouted fully, 81 to 93 potential. So he might end up being our number 1 pick here, depending on where our first round pick lies. He looks very, very good. We're going to go ahead and swap him out. And we will work on first baseman now, I believe. We'll take a look at some of those. Josh Cannon looks really good, the number 2 prospect in the draft, so we'll take a look at him. Everything else will keep the same. And we can go ahead and sim here a little bit further. All right, we're in the next week. We have our scouting assignments. We are now 16 and 31. So we're 5 and 5 in our last 5 games. Did lose 4 in a row there against Atlanta and then 1 against Baltimore. But we have our scouting, so we can take a look here, see what we have. Josh Cannon looks really good. The scouting is up to 40%, is still up to 96 potential, so that's nice. John Nomo at now 80% has still 93 potential, so I think we're going to keep everything here for now. We'll know everything about John Nomo after this next week. Carlos Manozo, will know a little bit more about him. So we're going to keep everything as is, and we're going to head on to the next week. All right, we're here in our next week now, 17 and 36. Lost 3 in a row now after a nice 8-3 win against Atlanta. Did end up losing that series, as well as have already lost the San Francisco series with 1 game to play. So it's rough. We're 19 and a half games back, 2 and 8 in our last 10, but we're focused on scouting. So John Nomo looks pretty good, 77 to 92 potential. So he could definitely be someone that is there for a 2nd to 3rd round pick for us. We're going to go ahead and take a look at some starting pitchers now. I think that'll be important as well. And we'll work on Brian Baez. Looks like a guy that could be very, very good. Carlos Manozo, we now have him 50% scouted, 73 to 98 potential. So he is holding that back end potential at catcher, which is important. And it looks like his lower potential is going up. So he could very well be a player. I mean, we have him ranked at number 10 as far as draft rank now. So he could be a very good player for us. Josh Cannon, we have him ranked at 34. He's the number 2 MLB prospect in the draft. So at 75% scouted, that 70 to 90 potential, he probably won't end up being someone we look at, but we're going to keep him on the scouting list for now. Just get him fully scouted real quick. 20 and 39 now. So 4 and 6 over our last 10 games, playing a little bit better. But yeah, Josh Cannon, he's actually back up to number 2, so an 81 to 96 potential. He could very easily be someone we look to go after here in the draft if we have a high enough pick. Brian Baez, 46% scouted now, still holding that potential. And then Carlos Manozo at catcher, is, I mean, holding that potential even more than I thought. It's still at a 98 with 77 now as the low end. So Carlos Menozo could very easily be the pick at catcher. Josh Cannon, we're going to go ahead and swap out. And we're going to look, I don't even know where to go from this. I think we'll look at another reliever or maybe a closer, honestly. Closer might not be a bad idea. We'll look at Tim Flores here. He has a little bit more overall upside than the other prospect over there. So we'll look at him. That's our scouting for that. And then we're going to find Mackenzie Gore's first or next start and head into that. We have, because why do we have 27 players on our roster? Let's take a look here and see. Okay, because Josiah Gray is now not injured. So Jackson Rutledge will go down to AAA. That's fine there. He needs some time to kind of figure that out. He did have a very, very rough go of things. In 51 innings, gave up 13 home runs. So 13 home runs in 11 games started is not good. And honestly, it's probably on me for rushing him. But with Josiah Gray hurt, we kind of had to make that choice. So yeah, we're going to head in here to Mackenzie Gore's next start and kind of see what we can do. We don't even need to worry about that. We did end up losing that one, but Mackenzie Gore is 2-7 with a 6.28 ERA, a 1.83 WHIP. My goodness, does have more strikeouts than innings pitched, but it's been a rough go of things. I mean, 12 home runs in 12 games is just terrible. So we need to look to have a strong start here, try and get him back on track. We're going to head right in here and see what we can do to start off the top of the first inning here. Nice first pitch for a strike there. We're going to look to paint the corners in today's game. Play a little bit more aggressive with our pitches than that circle change would suggest. That is a ground ball to first. We will go over, not need the help from Nathaniel Lowe. And he will tag the base for the first out. So nice, quick first out there. That is flared into right field. That'll get down for a base hit. So first base hit of the day. Just get out of the way there for John Birdie. And we will have Kyle Tucker up to bat now. Swings through that circle change, looking for, looks like what could have been a fastball he was looking for there. Throw the sweeper. That is foul, out of play. And we'll see if we can get him biting on a curveball here. He does. Swings at it, fouls it down the third baseline there. Throw another circle change, see if we can get him to run it again. He does not, but he takes it looking for strike three. So 2 quick outs here after the base hit from John Birdie here. And that is a swing and a drive to deep left field, and that is gone. I put a fastball up and in. Not the best decision, and the Cubs have a 2-0 lead here in the top of the first. That was not the start we were looking for, but if that's all we can give up in today's game, that still lowers our ERA. That would still be a good start. Ground ball, Dansby Swanson. That'll get to short. On the throw, it is not in time. Safe is Dansby Swanson, and we will face now. Who is that? Michael Busch. Okay. See what we can do here against Michael Busch. So not a good start to this game. Only 13 pitches, though. That one is going to get through there. First and second now with 2 outs on top of the first. So Carson Kelly up to bat here. Looking to get out of this inning as quick as possible. Stop using so many pitches. That is the 16th of the inning now. So we'll see if we can hurry this up a little bit. Ground ball foul down the third baseline. We'll throw a curveball here. Inside a little bit. Does hit that one onto first. We will try and cover. No need. Nathaniel Lowe steps on the bag. So a 2-0 lead for the Cubs here after the top of the first. We'll see if our offense can do anything. More than likely, probably won't, but we'll see if they do here in the bottom of the first. And you know what? They tie it up. So I had no faith. They came through anyway. So we have a brand new ball game here, folks. We're going to pitch like it's 0-0. Curveball did not catch a piece of the zone there. I mean, it did, but did not light up. That is back to the mound. We'll throw on to first base there, and we are out. So Justin Turner records the first out here at the top of the second. Pete Core Armstrong batting out of the 9 spot in the lineup. What in the world are they doing? Not sure I'd have one of the fastest players in the MLB batting out of the 9 spot, but hey, that's just me. We'll throw a slider, try and get it to stay a little bit more inside. It does not catch the zone. 2-1 here. We'll throw a fastball. That is flared to short. on the hop, and that is the second out of the top of the second here. So nice, quick 2 outs here. I said that last time, and then we gave up a home run. That is bullet to second base. That is caught. That is the final out of the top of the second. We'll see if our offense can score more runs, give us the lead here going into the third. They do not, so 2-2 here, but third inning, only 26 pitches. That's our 27th, so we'll look to have a very quick third inning here. Grounded to short, cannot make the play at shortstop is C.J. Abrams. That'll get into left field for a base hit for John Birdie, his second of the game already here in the third inning. So Kyle Tucker up to bat now. Circle change cannot catch a piece of the plate. That is 1-0 on the count. 1-1. There's the four-seamer catches a piece of the plate. A nice pitch there. Curveball high and outside, does not catch it. We'll look to throw a sweeper up and outside. That is a ground ball to second base. On to first, no play at second, but we get the lead, or not the lead runner, we get Kyle Tucker, sorry, at first base for the first out, but does take the double play out of order here for us on defense. Grounder to third, holds the runner at second, second out there. Seiya Suzuki grounds to third for the nice ground ball out. And we will go up against Dansby Swanson, who did hit, I believe, had the home run last inning. Ground ball to second, on to first. That's the final out of the third. So we'll see what our offense can do here before we get back out to pitch in the fourth. Luis Garcia hits a solo home run, gives us a lead 3-2 here in the fourth inning. We'll see if we can have a quick inning here again with Mackenzie Gore. Keep the strong start going. Obviously, the first inning is not what we wanted to have happen, but we've battled back and had a couple of really good innings since then. Nathaniel Lowe, we tried covering. He does not need our help. First out of the top of the fourth here. And this is the outing that Mackenzie Gore needed. Obviously, a scoreless outing would have been nice, but if we can give up 2, have 5 or 6 innings of solid work here and get the W, that would be very, very nice to get his confidence back. Justin Turner swinging a drive to deep left field. That'll be caught end of the top of the fourth inning, so see if our offense can give us even more of a cushion here. They do not, so it remains 3-2 in the ball game here in the top of the fifth inning. Grounder to second, cannot make it, boots it right off his glove. Pete Core Armstrong is safe at first, and we have a 99-speed player on first base. Ground ball, that is caught actually, sorry, not a ground ball. That is caught at second base, so first out holds Pete Core Armstrong. So we still have the double play in order, and Pete Core Armstrong takes off. Throw by Keibert Ruiz. He is safe into second base. Not even close there, and that is a stolen base for Pete Core Armstrong. Foul out of play back to the home dugout there, and that'll be grounder. C.J. Abrams picks that at short. Second out of the top of the fifth, holds PCA at second base there, and we will face Kyle Tucker here. Nice pitch, just does not light up the zone enough there for the strike call. Swings through the circle change there. Nice pitch from Mackenzie Gore. Grounder foul down the first baseline there. Almost fair. Would have been extra bases and probably scored a run there. Back up the middle. That is to second base. Nice play. End of the top of the fifth. Dude, Luis Garcia hits another solo home run. So 50th pitch of our outing here in the top of the sixth inning. And we are making quick work of this lineup. Nathaniel Lowe, nice catch, first out. Dansby Swanson up to bat now. And we could potentially go very, very, very far into this game if we keep pitching like this. 2 quick strikes on Dansby Swanson there. We'll throw a curveball down, and that is picked at short. C.J. Abrams makes the throw, sets his feet, and that is the second out already at the top of the sixth with 54 pitches here. With Michael Busch up to bat, circle change does not catch a piece of the zone there. 1-0 on the count now. Popped up on the sweeper to left field. That will be an easy catch. And we are through 6 innings with only like 55 pitches. So we'll see what our offense can do. Back out 56 pitches here in the top of the 7th inning for Mackenzie Gore. Really have not had much trouble after that first inning. Ground ball there, foul Carson Kelly. We'll throw this one up and in, try and get him to swing here. He does, fouls that one down the right field line there. 0-2 count here. Look to get him swinging on the curve. We do. Going to throw the slider, go a little bit more inside here. He does not swing at it. The placement on that was a little bit off. Fastball does not light up the zone there. Low, 2-2 here. 3-2 on the circle change. We're going to throw a curveball here, 3-2, see if we can get him chase. We can. Grounds that one up the middle. C.J. Abrams, nice pick at short from his knees. Makes the throw over to first for the first out at the top of the 7th there. What a play by C.J. Abrams, really coming along defensively. Has had some problems with errors early in his career, so nice to see that play there. Justin Turner back up the middle into center field. That'll be a base hit for Justin Turner. former Dodger. I believe actually only the Dodgers. So former Dodger, now a Cub, and lined into right field. That is not caught in right field. And P. Crow Armstrong he will stay at second. Justin Turner stays at third. So probably best case scenario there is P. Crow Armstrong and Justin Turner both thought that it was caught. And Mackenzie Gore will be pulled with about 60 pitches in the 7th inning. That's interesting. So we'll return to simulating, and we end up losing the game. I'm going to assume 2 of those runs were charged to us there. We can take... Yeah, we threw 67 pitches with no outs in the 7th, or 1 out in the 7th, and they pulled us. I'm confused by that. I mean, it's fine, but I don't know. That just does not make sense to me. The runs were charged to us, so our ERA does lower. Only had 1 strikeout the entire game. Really, the way we kept our pitch count so low. So Carlos Manozo it could very well be our first-round pick. He looks fantastic. We're going to hold that in another week and get him fully scouted. We'll keep Brian Baez to fully scout him as well. And then Tim Flores looks really, really good. So we're going to keep those as is, get them fully scouted. And we will head on to the next week of scouting here and see what we can do. Losing a ton of games in a row here. And my goodness, just not what you want to see here. We will stop to do our scouting here. Head in. So all these guys are scouted 100% now. So we have Carlos Manozo draft rank 3. Brian Baez draft rank 12, and then Tim Flores is ranked at 57. So Carlos Manozo looks like he could be the pick for us there in the first round. Brian Baez could easily be the pick as well. We're going to change to another reliever here. Go ahead and look at Alfred Santos, and then Tim Flores will look. We'll look at some closers here. We'll look at Jeremy Ludwig. Or Ludwig, sorry, and then Carlos Manozo. We'll look at another starter probably. Peter Parker. We'll look at Peter Parker there. See if we can get Spider-Man on the squad. We've won 4 in a row now. 5 in a row. I did lose one there. We will stop to set our scouting. We're 29 and 49, 7 and 3 in our last 10, which is nice. Peter Parker actually looks fantastic. Oh my goodness. 22 years old, starting pitcher. So he'd probably be someone that goes, straight to AAA or AA. But he looks really good halfway scouted so far. Alfred Santos looks pretty good as well. A switch hitting righty pitcher. Okay. And then Jeremy Ludwig is 19 years old. He's a closer. So he could be one of those guys in the later round, like the second round that we take. So we'll keep all of them scouted, get their scouting up to 100% there, and then worry about that later. Bases loaded here in the top of the 7th with 2 outs. We're going to sim that one. Hopefully we can pull out that win. We did. And it looks like we actually beat the pot. No, we lost that series. Okay, that's fine. So we'll set our scouting assignments, and that'll be the end of the episode today. So Alfred Santos, 77 to 87 potential, so he dropped down a lot. Jeremy Ludwig, though, did stay 81 to 93, which is really good for a closing pitcher, so we'll probably look to draft him at some point. And then Peter Parker. We'll keep him scouted another week, get that extra scouting up, but 83 to 89 potential. At 22 years old, though, he'd be a 71 to 77 overall right away. I would definitely be interested in drafting him. Obviously, the catcher that we had drafted or we had scouted is someone that we'll probably look to draft before him, but you never know. So we'll put some other guys in here, and just kind of see where we're at here. We'll do another. Let's go ahead and do another first baseman there. We'll do Fletcher Jones and set that. All right, so we're now 32 and 52. Let's take a look at our rotation. Mackenzie Gore, ERA is down to a 5.38, so that's really nice. Mitchell Parker has a 4.44 ERA, so lowered that one. Jake Irvin is up there. Mike Soroka is pitching fantastic, a 3.33 ERA. I'm going to go ahead and move him up to the 3 spot in the rotation. I normally don't like changing the rotation midseason unless there's injuries, but with the way he's pitching, I need him to pitch in, that 3 spot will probably get more of those high leverage games than the 4 spot would. So that's kind of the idea there. And then Josiah Gray, who was injured to start the year, has pitched okay in 26 innings. I believe 5 starts. So, has not given up a home run yet, which is actually huge for us. Only pitched in 2 games last season. So that injury was a really rough one for him. And then the bullpen is bad. Colin Poche with a 9 ERA in 11 innings. We're not even using him anymore. He's so bad. And then, some of our pitching has been pretty well. Evan Reifert, he's 25, 58 overall. Only on the team because he's a Rule 5 pick. So that's that. Jorge Lopez still pitching pretty well. Not too bad. He's getting up there a little bit. So in terms of ERA, but I think it's okay. The whip is very high, but that's honestly, it's fine. And then as far as our lineup, everyone's hot right now. Luis Garcia and Riley Adams are cold, but everyone else is hot. That's what I like to see. CJ Abrams batting average is up to a 242. It does have 13 home runs now. James Wood with 8. Nathaniel Lowe has 7. He might earn himself a contract extension, honestly. Josh Bell has 7 home runs. Dylan Cruz with 7. 1 for Jacob Young. Obviously just does not have the power really at 32 and 33 righty and lefty. Luis Garcia has 7, batting 300 on the season so far. The 7 hole. Okay, that is impressive. Ahmed Rosario has a 267, and then Keibert Ruiz is batting 219. Riley Adams is batting 254. And I think I'm going to go ahead and take out Keibert Ruiz versus lefties and put Riley Adams in there. I know he's cold, but I think that it'll pay off. So we're going to try that for now. I know the contact versus lefties is lower than versus righties, but I'm still just going to try this, see how it goes. But that will be today's episode. So almost mid-season mark. We have a couple more games, 2 more weeks until All-Star break. So thank you guys so much for watching today's episode. We'll check out the All-Star break in the next episode. We'll have the draft, and then we'll finish out the regular season. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.